Hey everybody, this is Jay from Byte-Size Politics. Today we're talking about identity politics, social justice warriors, and the way we become the things we hate.
I'm wide awake, but you're a nightmare.
If you've ever read George Orwell's Animal Farm, you know that it's an allegory for the Russian Revolution and the way in which the Communist Party became just as murderous, tyrannical, and greedy as the nobles they replaced. In the story, the farm animals, led by the pigs, overthrow the violent and drunken farmer Jones. They rename the farm Animal Farm, and they institute 10 commandments that are going to govern how they're going to live. And the most important of these is that all animals are created equal. By the end of the story, the pigs are sleeping in the farmer's house, they're abusing their fellow animals, they're drinking the farmer's whiskey, and they've changed the main commandment to all animals are created equal, but some animals are more equal than others. Much like in Animal Farm, both contemporary feminism and the civil rights movement began as attempts to bring marginalized groups into the center and ensure equal rights for all. The Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. is a perfect example of this. If you look at his speeches, he is speaking within the framework of American liberties that had been denied to African Americans since the founding, even though it had been promised to them since the founding. And he, woven throughout his speeches, it's clear that he's animated by Christian concepts of love and unity and brotherhood. If we were going to sum these movements up succinctly, it would be that they were trying to make America live up to its promise that all men were created equal. Fast forward to now, and what's become of these movements for social justice? Just as in Animal Farm, many of the leaders have decided that some animals are more equal than others, or in this case, some people are more equal than others. They've decided to demean and marginalize entire groups of people based on the color of their skin or their chromosomes. We talk now about toxic whiteness. We talk about toxic masculinity, as if entire groups of people are unsanitary or unsafe just by their very existence. Just 60 years ago, women, African Americans, and people of other races were considered permanent second-class citizens because of immutable characteristics over which they had no control. But yet, for a brief time, from the 1960s through the 1980s, intellectuals in America, even if the average American wasn't fully on board with this, the intellectuals and the public discourse in America centered around individual liberties and equal rights for everyone and integration between different groups. Unfortunately now, in so much of our media and in academia and in elite discourse, we've gone back to the bad old days where we judge people according to the color of their skin or to their chromosomes rather than the content of their character. We silence entire groups of people, especially on campus, but online and in other places as well, simply because they're parts of a disfavored group. We enforce rigid color lines, and we don't call it Jim Crow anymore. Now we call it cultural appropriation or banning cultural appropriation, or we talk about safe spaces for marginalized groups to be separate from toxic whites or toxic men. The anti-racists have become racist, and the anti-sexists have become sexist. That isn't progress, and it sure as hell isn't progressive. It's a betrayal of the liberal legacy. I hope this video has been helpful. And if you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. I'll be back next Thursday with another bite-sized video making sense of contemporary politics. Until then, have a great week.